What is going on, everyone? Grippin here, coming at you with some Vivi gameplay, actually. First Vivi gameplay. And today we're going to talk about the SMG and also Vivi changes that happened in the Friday Vivi hotfix for Rogue Company. So let's head over and let's check it out. So as you can see here, this is the patch notes for the Vivi hotfix that did come out on July the 21st. So for Vivi specifically, they replaced her impact grenade with the EMP grenade, and then down here for her dual boyer weapons, they increased the accuracy for aim over shoulder or ADS. The reload time was reduced from 3.4 seconds down to 2.4 seconds on uncommon, rare, and epic, and the reload time 2.9 seconds down to 2.2 seconds on legendary. They also increased the reserve ammo by 1 additional magazine. So I've played Vivi a decent amount, right, since she came out, because there were several changes that I wanted to test, like the Dema changes, the fixer changes. I wanted to try that new LTM out and try those signature perks, which I don't think are actually working in the game right now. So I've been trying several different things. Whenever this hotfix dropped, I got on the night that it dropped and I tried almost every single change out except for the anvil and the lancer change, I think. But I did try all the shotguns out. I did try the new weapon changes out. I tried the Vivi changes and of course the D40 stuff. But currently, this is what I think about the hotfix as a whole. So with the hotfix, replacing the impact grenade with EMPs, giving Vivi EMPs to begin with is a good idea. Replacing the impact grenade with the EMPs to me is not a great idea. I feel like that her playstyle and her kit doesn't really warrant her healing station playstyle, right? Because she's very much a duelist rogue in every sense of the word, right? She has access to SMGs, assault rifles. Her ability buffs her HP or heals her for a short duration. And then she also has some other incredible perks that allow her to be primarily in that duelist territory. Like with Gadgeteer, whenever she had the impact grenade, with Nimble Hands at legendary so that she could reload faster. She has track around, she has berserker, she has evade. You know, she's very quick. Whenever she channels her ability, it increases her movement speed and everything. So it very much is like kind of how Runway is like this support sniper hybrid character. Vivi is very much this duelist support hybrid character. She does have access to the 2 revive perks, which is great, and she's kind of more in line of like what I would say Dahlia feels like, like the way that she revives people, even though she has one, extended healing revive, mechanic worked into her kit. But a lot of Dahlias are more hand reses, and that's kind of how Vivi is overall. I feel like if they got rid of the healing station and they slotted the impact grenade back in and left her with EMPs, I think that would put her in a very good state. I don't understand why the impact grenade was what was slotted out. I do like the impact grenade. I feel like the impact grenade needs some type of a buff to it. That's a whole nother topic and possibly a future video in and of itself. But I do like the impact grenade, and I do think it fits well with her playstyle, where you can impact grenade someone and you can, use your momentum, use your ability, use that slide to get into favorable positions and be able to down someone that's just taking like 30 to 45 damage, gives you that upper hand, especially if you use the ability and you're overhealed slightly so that you can enter that gunfight. With the dual boyers, I mean, these weapons are very polarizing. I feel like these weapons shoot so fast that the servers can't keep up with what's going on whenever you are hip firing them. There's been several times where I've been downing someone or I have downed someone, and then I will stop shooting them so that I can reload the weapon for the next engagement, and bullets are still coming out of the weapon and the bodies are still taking damage, like the downed person's still getting hit with them, but I'm in the middle of reload animation. So it feels like it's shooting so quickly that the servers realistically can't they can't respond to every single thing. You shoot someone and move around a corner hip firing it, and they're still taking damage. They're still taking tick damage from the residual server things that are happening here. So with the dual boyers, they're very polarizing. I don't know if they're good or not, because I don't think the servers are up to snuff where they need to be to really determine if these things are good or not. But they did increase several things or decrease several things depending on how you look at it to make them a little bit more of a reliable weapon. Being able to do the ADS with the feature where whenever you start firing the weapon while you're in ADS, it's pinpoint accurate, you start firing it, and it slowly blooms out. Now, this was a crosshair mechanic that I actually pitched to the developers very, very, very long ago. Whenever they started doing the original SMG changes, where they had the first bullet or two like pinpoint accuracy, and then they got less and less accurate as you shot them, I proposed a crosshair change very similar to this, where there needs to be the crosshair for the weapons need to represent exactly how that weapon functions. And the SMG changes that were happening at the time, the crosshairs didn't reflect that. People didn't really use the SMGs. They just saw how the crosshairs were, and they were like, yeah, we can't be doing all this. And they got in an outrage and a tizzy, and that's why they got reverted and the D40C meta came back. So if they would have applied that same logic to these SMGs for hipfire and for ADS, I don't think the community would have been as big an uproar, and I think that they would have been a little bit more understanding to actually know how these weapons were supposed to be functioning, because they were supposed to be functioning like the dual boyer currently does in game whenever you're ADSing it. But unfortunately, it is what it is. It is very accurate, and it does have a very quick fire rate while you're ADSing it, so you're still able to burn someone down, but those fall off thresholds feel like it hit the weapon really hard, and because of that, it feels really, really, really good. Like, the dual boyers feel like the most balanced SMG in the game right now. Like I said, I can't tell if they're good or not because of the hip fire speed on them and also the server issues that happen with them. But overall, as a weapon, I feel like that they're one of the most balanced weapons that's been released in the game, first of all, and that like is most balanced currently in game. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me, and that's fine, but they should be using the dual boyers as their way of balancing the rest of the SMGs around, in my opinion. So the reload time being reduced, then that makes perfect sense because, you know, it was a very extended amount of time. And I've played the game long enough to where I know how long, like subconsciously, muscle memory, how long it takes for each weapon to reload. You kind of have a general idea and time frame in your head if you've played the game long enough that like you can get behind this cover, you can hit the reload button, you can look around with your character and see if anybody's going to be pushing you, and you know exactly when that reload is going to be done. You know when that reload animation is going to be done. We've all programmed ourselves. This, with a very extended reload time, even with nimble hands sometimes, would kind of get you in a bad situation where you'd get behind cover, you would reload the weapon, and then you would think that the weapon was fully reloaded when in reality it wasn't fully reloaded, and then you would push someone and realize, oh, my weapons didn't reload, so I'm screwed right now. So it makes sense that they adjusted the reload time on that to be something that's a little bit more familiar, so that feels really good in game right now. And then increasing the ammo reserve by 1 additional magazine. You have 3 reloads in your weapon to begin with. I think since this hotfix you have 4 reloads. You're going to go through one entire clip downing at least 1 or 2 people. Like, you're not going to be able to down an entire team with 1 clip from the dual boyers unless you are just like having the best server connection in the entire universe, and that is the sad reality of it. So overall, I think that these changes make some sense. I think giving her EMPs was a good idea, but I think that they need to give her back the impact grenade and they need to get rid of that healing station. Then the dual boyers feel like the very balanced SMGs whenever you use it from an ADS, you know, aim over shoulder perspective. The hip fire, I'm still out on that. I don't know if they're good or bad. I don't know, because it just feels like the servers can't keep up with it currently. Be sure to let me know what you think of Vivi's changes in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on her getting the EMPs? What are your thoughts on her having the impact grenades slotted out? And also, what are your current thoughts on the dual boyers? I know that, you know, they just dropped with the new character. Then we got a hotfix that buffed them. Do you think that they're in a good spot right now? Do you think that they feel good? Or do you think that they could receive more buffs to make them feel a little bit better? Be sure to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, be sure to check that description for links to Facebook, Discord, and Twitter. Those are the places to contact me. If you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. If you've already subscribed to the channel, then consider hitting that join button to become one of the 256 crew members. Lastly, on Thursdays starting around 11 p.m. Central Time and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central Time, I will be streaming here on YouTube. So if you are interested and available, please feel free to stop by and say hello there. Thanks for watching, guys.